Have you ever felt so empty that you couldn't remember what it felt like to be happy? Have you ever been so tired, not physically but soul tired, that the thought of facing one more day felt impossible? That's where Emma Carter was, 28 years old, sitting at her kitchen table at 3 a.m., a blank piece of paper in front of her, writing her suicide note. She'd tried everything: therapy, medication, prayer. Nothing worked. The darkness was too heavy, too consuming, too permanent. Emma had made her decision. Tomorrow night she would end her life. But as she wrote those final words to her family, something happened. She heard a voice. This is Emma's story. A story about depression so deep it felt like drowning, about a moment of crisis, and about the voice that saved her life. If you're struggling right now, please know, this story is for you. There is hope. You are not alone. Keep listening. Emma Carter had struggled with depression her whole life. It started when she was 13, after her parents' divorce. She remembers lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, feeling this weight on her chest, like someone was sitting on her, crushing her. She told her mom she felt sad all the time. Her mom said it was just teenage hormones, that she'd grow out of it. But Emma never grew out of it. By high school, Emma had learned to hide it, put on a smile, laugh at jokes, pretend everything was fine. Inside, she felt nothing, just gray, like the world had lost all its color. She went to college, got a degree in English, got a job as a teacher. From the outside, Emma looked successful, put together, normal. But inside, she was barely surviving. Emma tried therapy in her early 20s. The therapist diagnosed her with major depressive disorder, prescribed antidepressants. The medication helped. For a while, Emma felt not happy but less sad, functional. She could get out of bed, could go to work, could pretend to be normal. But the medication stopped working after 2 years. Her doctor switched medications, then switched again, and again. Nothing worked the way it used to. By 27, Emma was on her 4th medication, still depressed, still struggling, still waking up every morning wishing she hadn't. She'd started having intrusive thoughts about death, about what it would be like to just stop existing. At first, the thoughts scared her. She'd push them away, tell herself she didn't really want to die. But slowly, the thoughts became less scary, more comforting, an escape route, a way out of the pain. Emma's friends noticed she was withdrawing, canceling plans, not responding to texts. "Are you okay?" they'd ask. "I'm fine," Emma would lie. "Just tired, busy with work." But the truth was, Emma was disappearing, not physically, but internally. The person she used to be was fading, being replaced by this hollow version, this shadow. Emma stopped going to church. She'd been raised Christian, believed in God, But where was God when she felt like this? Where was God when she prayed for help and the darkness only got worse? She'd pray, "God, please take this away. Please make me feel better. Please help me." And nothing changed. The depression remained. Heavy, suffocating, relentless. So Emma stopped praying. What was the point? In March, Emma's best friend from college died in a car accident. Catherine, 28 years old. Gone in an instant. Emma went to the funeral, sat in the back, listened to people talk about how tragic it was, how unfair, how Catherine had so much life ahead of her. And Emma remembers thinking, "I wish that had been me." Not because she was jealous, but because Catherine's death seemed easier than Emma's life. Quick, painless, over. Emma was living, but she wasn't alive. She was just existing, going through motions, feeling nothing but pain. That's when Emma started researching methods. She won't say which ones, but she looked up painless ways, quick ways, ways that would work. She made a plan. Saturday night, when no one would find her until Monday. Enough time that no one could save her. No emergency room. No second chances. Friday night, Emma came home from work. It was the last day she'd teach, the last time she'd see her students. They had no idea. "Have a great weekend, Miss Carter," one of them said as they left. "You too," Emma said, knowing she wouldn't be there on Monday, knowing this was goodbye. Emma cleaned her apartment, did her laundry, organized her files. She wanted everything to be easy for whoever had to deal with her death. Her sister, her mom. She wrote down her passwords, bank account information, where important documents were. She was methodical about it, calm, like she was preparing for a trip, not death. Saturday, Emma woke up. This was her last day. She thought she'd feel scared or sad, but she felt relieved. The decision was made. The pain would end. She just had to get through one more day. Emma went for a walk in the park. Noticed things she usually didn't notice. The way sunlight filtered through trees. A kid laughing. A dog chasing a ball. Part of her thought, "I'm going to miss this." But most of her thought, "The pain isn't worth it." That night, Emma sat at her kitchen table. She had a pen, a piece of paper, and the plan. But first, she needed to write notes. To her mom, to her sister, to her students. What do you say to people when you're about to kill yourself? How do you explain that it's not their fault? That you love them, but you just can't do this anymore? Emma started with her mom. "Mom, I'm so sorry. I know this will destroy you. I know you'll blame yourself. Please don't. You did everything right. You loved me. You tried to help. This isn't your fault. Depression is an illness, and sometimes illnesses win. I'm so tired, Mom. I'm so tired of fighting. I need to rest. Please forgive me. I love you." Emma cried as she wrote, But she kept writing. A note to her sister. Sarah, you were the best sister anyone could ask for. Thank you for always being there. For listening. For not giving up on me even when I pushed you away. Take care of Mom. Tell my students I'm sorry. I love you. Emma looked at the clock. 11 p.m. She had everything ready. The notes. The plan. The resolve. She just had one more thing to do. One last note to write. To God. Emma picked up the pen. God, I don't know if you're real. I don't know if you can hear me. I've prayed to you my whole life and nothing changed. I'm still depressed. Still broken. Still in pain. People say you love everyone. That you have a plan. That you're good. But I can't see it. All I see is darkness. All I feel is pain. All I want is for it to stop. I'm sorry I couldn't be strong enough. I'm sorry I couldn't have enough faith. I'm sorry I'm giving up. But I can't do this anymore. I've tried. I've tried so hard. And I'm just done. If you're real and if you care, I hope you understand. I hope you forgive me. Because I can't live like this one more day. Emma signed her name. Put down the pen. It was time. Emma stood up from the table. Walked to her bathroom. Her heart was pounding. Not from fear. From anticipation. This was it. The pain would finally end. She looked at herself in the mirror. Really looked. She looked exhausted. Hollow. Like a ghost. I'm sorry, she whispered to her reflection. And then, Emma heard it. A voice. Not audible. Not out loud. But clear. Unmistakable. Like someone speaking directly into her soul. Emma. Stop. Emma froze. Who's there? She said aloud. But she knew no one was there. She was alone. You're not alone. I'm here. I've always been here. Emma's legs gave out. She sank to the bathroom floor. Who are you? You know who I am. And Emma did. She knew. It was God. The God she'd prayed to for years. The God she'd stopped believing in. The God she thought had abandoned her. Why now? Emma cried. Why didn't you answer before? Why didn't you help me when I was begging you? I was helping you. Every day you woke up. Every day you kept going. That was me. Giving you strength you didn't know you had. But you were looking for a miracle when I was walking with you through the struggle. I can't do this anymore, Emma sobbed. I'm too tired. The pain is too much. I want it to end. I know. I know you're tired. I know it hurts. But this isn't the answer, Emma. This isn't the end I have for you. What end do you have for me? More years of this. More pain. More emptiness. No. Healing. Purpose. Life. Real life. Not just existence. But I need you to trust me. I can't trust you, Emma said. You let me suffer. You let me hurt. How can I trust you? Because I suffered too. I know what it's like to carry weight you can't bear. I know what it's like to cry out and feel alone. I know what it's like to face death. And I chose life anyway. Not because it was easy, but because there was something on the other side worth living for. Emma sat on that bathroom floor for over an hour, talking to God, really talking, not performing prayers, not reciting formulas, just talking. And God listened and responded, not with easy answers, not with instant healing, but with presence. I'm here, God kept saying. I'm here with you, in the pain, in the darkness. I haven't left. I will never leave. Finally, Emma whispered, I don't want to die. I want the pain to die, but I don't know how to live like this. You don't have to know. You just have to take one more day. Just tomorrow. Can you give me tomorrow? Just tomorrow. Just tomorrow. And then we'll talk about the next day. One day at a time. Emma closed her eyes. Made a choice. Not a lifetime commitment. Not a promise of instant healing. Just one choice. Okay. Tomorrow. Emma called the suicide hotline that night. At 3:30 a.m. Told them everything. The person on the phone was kind. Didn't judge. Just listened. And stayed on the phone with Emma until the sun came up. You did the right thing by calling, they said. You chose life. That takes courage. I don't feel courageous, Emma said. I feel broken. Broken things can be healed. And you just took the first step. The next day, Sunday, Emma went to church. She hadn't been in months. She sat in the back, cried through the entire service. After, the pastor came up to her. Are you okay? Emma shook her head. No, I'm really not. I almost didn't make it through last night. The pastor sat down next to her. But you did. You're here. That matters. The pastor connected Emma with a Christian counselor, someone who understood both mental health and faith, who wouldn't tell Emma to just pray more or just have more faith, but someone who could walk with her through both the spiritual and the psychological aspects of depression. Emma started seeing her twice a week. The healing didn't happen overnight. Depression doesn't work like that. There were still bad days. Days where Emma woke up and the darkness was just as heavy as before. Days where she wondered if she should have made a different choice that night. But she kept going, one day at a time, just like God had asked. Emma tried a new medication. It took 6 weeks to start working, but slowly, gradually, Emma started feeling different, not happy, not cured, but less heavy, like someone had turned the volume down on the darkness. It was still there, but quieter. She started journaling, writing down the thoughts instead of letting them spiral in her head. She started going to a depression support group at church, met other people who understood, who'd been in the darkness, who were fighting to live. 3 months after that night, Emma was still here, still fighting, still alive. 6 months later, Emma had her first genuinely good day. She laughed at something funny, felt the sun on her face and appreciated it. Felt lighter. It wasn't permanent. The depression came back. But Emma had learned something. The darkness doesn't last forever. It comes in waves. And waves pass. 1 year after writing that suicide note, Emma read it again. She kept it, not to glorify that moment, but to remember, to see how far she'd come. "I can't believe I'm still here," Emma told her counselor. "A year ago, I was convinced there was no other way out. And now?" Her counselor asked. "Now I'm glad I'm alive. Not every day, but most days. That's progress, right? That's incredible progress." Emma still teaches, still has bad days, still takes medication, still goes to counseling, but she's alive, really alive, not just existing. She volunteers now at a suicide prevention hotline, sits on the other end of the phone, talks to people who are where she was. "I know how you feel," Emma tells them. "I know it seems impossible, but it's not. There's hope. I'm living proof. If God could save me that night, He can save you too." Emma will never forget that voice. That moment on the bathroom floor when God met her in her darkest hour. "Why did you save me?" Emma asked God in prayer one night. "I'd given up. I'd decided. Why did you intervene?" And she felt God's response, not in words, but in her spirit. "Because you matter. Because your life has purpose. Because I'm not done with your story yet." Emma Carter wrote her suicide note, had everything planned, was ready to end her life. Then she heard a voice, and that voice changed everything. If you're listening to this and you're in that dark place, if you're thinking about ending your life, please hear this. You are not alone. Your pain is real. Your struggle is valid. But suicide is not the answer. Depression lies. It tells you there's no hope, that things will never get better, that people would be better off without you. Those are lies. All lies. There is hope. Things can get better. And you matter more than you know. Emma thought God had abandoned her. But God was there all along, in the pain, in the darkness, keeping her alive one day at a time until she was ready to hear His voice. God is with you too, right now, in your pain. He sees you. He knows your struggle. And He's saying the same thing He said to Emma. Don't give up. I'm here. Let's take one more day together. If you're in crisis right now, please reach out. Call or text 988, Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, US. Text HOME to 741741. Crisis text line, visit findahelpline.com, international resources. You can also go to your nearest emergency room. Call a friend. Call a family member. Call anyone. Just don't give up. Emma is alive today because she heard a voice. Because God intervened. because she chose one more day. Choose one more day. And then another. And another. Your story isn't over. God's not done with you yet.